haven't really digested what just happened.
No?
I went backstage and I was like, wow. Flakked just ended the game like single-handedly like that. He was decided the game is over and he was gonna win.
And then the game was over.
And he had a crazy FLS game. And now we're in draft. We're in graft.
We're in graft.
We're in graft.
Hard graft here in the draft.
Vitality has chosen the blue side.
That they have.
But they have very similar bans as they did on red side. They're banning the Asir and Sejuani. And we see Nymaera bans that was banned, I think, by red side game 1. And so very similar situations. Now,
will we see Varus banned?
Will we see Varus banned? I do not know that. Annie being taken out once again. I do wonder how we're going to do about the AD carry pool, because I feel like that is... I don't want to be like a game 1 Andy, but that's kind of where the game is going to be decided, the series. Because
sure.
My eyes are like... For me, there are 2 main hyper carries that are strong in this meta. It's the Aphelios and it's the Jinx. And to me, I think Jinx is quite a high prio in this game too. And I want to see maybe Heretics draft around it, because they can once again just draft a tank for Carlsen and put a hyper carry of Flakked and get those dragons, get those fights, and maybe make something good happen again like they did in game 1. But now it is actually Vitality with initiative. They get to choose whatever they want to pick first. What's it going to be?
I mean, they could look for something like the Varus. They could also go for something like the Vi if they just want to be aggressive from the jungle role.
Trundle as well.
Trundle
was banned game 1.
Yeah, Trundle, a very high possibility here, really strong generally. I wonder if Heretics will just look to the K'Sante plus, as you say, Jinx or something like that. If you just want a tank top laner, K'Sante seems to fit that mold really well and has done basically for the entirety of his career. But there is the Ryze first here for Czajek, who did have a really good game 1. Immediately locked in Corki Rell, so an aggressive bot lane from Flakked and Stend.
Yeah, and Heretics knows exactly what they want to pick. They just insta-lock that. They felt very confident looking at it, looking that in. Ryze first pick is something that Czajek has been very good on throughout the split. I think I have a lot of good memories from his Ryze, making plays on the side lane, outplaying people with his good movements. I want to see something that can kind of tandem with him from Lyncas here. Anything that works well with something that can push and move very easily. Alistar being picked against the Rell, it's a classic counter. Usually when you pick Rell, it's that pop-in Alistar that people answered with. Alistar being taken away now early. And I do wonder if this Corki is a flex, or it's probably just going to go bot lane as we see the Kai'Sa being locked in for Carzzy.
Yeah, both the bot supports locked in for both these teams. Not too surprising after we saw the Corki Rell immediately. Heretics here have a couple of options. You can go jungle and then ban out junglers, but it does make your mid lane pool a little bit weaker going into that second round. Or you could just go for mid and then both teams just bang out whatever they don't really want to play against.
Yeah, I mean, I do like just taking a good mid matchup for Kamiloo. I think he should get whatever he wants into the Ryze. So we see a brand jungle. I think that's a brand jungle. Sure, it could be brand mid, but most likely gonna be a jungle. And now suddenly, I wonder what Kamiloo's gonna play, because I imagine the Yona's already being taken out. The Jayce might get banned, which is another good pairing with the brand. And I wonder what Kamiloo has in store, because now you're kind of putting yourself in a position where you probably have to pick an AP mid together with brand, which you don't really want, or you're gonna have to dig really deep into your AD mid champion pool, like the Tristanas.
Yeah.
Maybe a Lucian, probably
Smolder.
not. I mean, you could just take the Corki mid. What am I saying?
Yeah, I mean, you can.
This can easily be a position where you take the Corki mid, if they ban AD mids, and just put the brand jungle and counterpick the AD carry with the Kai'Sa, with something like a Jinx that we highlighted before, or even something like a Zeri. I think works well this game.
Yeah, I like Zeri. I think Flakked's is pretty good Zeri across the course of his career as well. Jarvan banned out by Heretics. Varus banned out by Vitality. They realized the same thing that you realized, which is, hey, this Corki could be a mid lane flex. And then we'll move through the Trundle bans. Just trying to get rid of some of the powerful junglers there, Heretics. Brand obviously like 99% sure that's going in the jungle, and you don't want someone that can just stat stick you. Jarvan obviously can lock you down really well, and Trundle can just run at you consistently.
Oh, it's Nako cooking again. I see a Renekton ban. When you ban Renekton, you want to blind something degen. Like you want to pick like those crazy top laners like a Camille, a Yasuo. I wonder what he has in store here. Or maybe he just picks K'Sante. What do I know? But we see the Jayce being taken here. Or hovered, sorry. But could just go into any position. Could be top, could be mid, and you put Corki bot lane. In general, a lot of options here for Heretics in this draft. You can kind of tailor your last pick to whatever you want. And
I think if you look at the Heretics draft, it does feel like they're missing a bit of meat. Like, they don't really have a true tank amongst them. It's the Rell, and you do have a lot of AoE on that engage. I wouldn't mind Carlsen going for something tanky on the top side.
Yeah, K'Sante would be very like a natural picker to kind of roll out the draft. So we're just hovering. It's going to be the Ambessa. Renekton ban makes more sense then. You don't want to go up against that beefy boy that kind of makes your day a little bit sad.
It is interesting, a lot of the adjectives we use for someone that's like big and annoying to deal with. It's like beefy, meaty. stakey, you know. Hammy's like overacting a little bit as well. The final pick is the Vi here for Vitality. They have a huge dive comp. Like, you look at this: Public Execution, Cease and Desist, Killer Instinct.
I mean, one guy's dying. The question is, are you winning the fight because you killed that one guy, or are you gonna lose the fight afterwards because you used everything on that bloke? Xante being taken in last pick into the Ambessa. It is a fine matchup. It's a little bit Ambessa favored, especially when you get that Eclipse. Becomes really difficult for Xante to trade. But early game, he's chilling, he's fine against the Ambessa, and he's just gonna have to beat that kind of front line that Heretics needed. He's gonna beat that meat, as you highlighted, very well, eloquently, and gonna see.
You're just gonna keep going.
No, I'm done.
I'm good. Yeah, the Xante for Carlsen, we saw in game one, he was a scion. Like, that was his job. He did it really well. Yes, he fell behind in lane, but did exactly what his team needed him to do later on. Heretics don't have a huge amount of dive, but they do have a good amount of poke, and if someone dives onto them, they do have a good amount of disengage as well. The Rell Magnet Storm can be used for that. You have the Valkyrie away, you've got the knockback from Jayce, and then you have the Pyroclasm from Brand, which can do a lot of work. So it feels to me like both compositions kind of know exactly what they want to do. Yeah. Heretics want to poke with a little bit of a meat line at the front, meatball.
Oh, we're so stuck in the meat.
Yeah, I'm lost in the meat, man. Like, the first time I went to a barbecue place, it's just, it's too much meat. Ribs are too good. Vitality on the other side want to dive, you know? They just want to get into that backline and absolutely assassinate one target. Question is, will they be able to do it? Because in game one, they fell behind in the early game. Yeah. Heretics got out to about a 3k lead, then Vitality switched it to about 8k ahead. And Heretics, on the back of Flakked Zephelios, we'll say, were able to win out the game in the end. But Vitality solo lanes had a pretty good time in game one, especially this guy on your screen right now, Czajek. He was definitely winning out the 1v1 versus Kamiloo. There wasn't always a 1v1, but often was.
I mean, he really did have a great game one, I would say. Like, okay, first of all, there's Electrocute on Brand. I don't know jungle runes. I don't know if this is common, but I usually see something else on Brand, but maybe I'm just completely delusional. But what I was thinking is that, sure, you have a dive comp on Vitality, but against the Brand, it's really terrifying to dive, because suddenly, if you don't kill him very early, you go through all those passive procs, all those big AoE circles that are so terrifying. And it doesn't really end up going well often if you dive through the Brand. So you kind of want to kill him first, I think.
It looks like we see a little bit of a mix, by the way, on the Brand runes. Getting some Comets, some Conqueror, some Electrocute, some Dark Harvest.
Okay.
Depends who you trust. Do we trust Joko? He's going Conqueror. Do we trust Yankos? He went Harvest.
Oh, so not Harvest then. Okay, so already here trying to get the bush control here from Team Heretics. They got it game one. Flash walks in with a sweeper and they're gonna find each other. But Heretics is one bush forward, so they're in a good spot.
Yeah, they win the level one. And part of the problem as well is if you're an Alistar level one, it becomes very difficult to actually step up. Stend's gonna remount here. Fleshy Pulverize was dodged.
Stend used to remount on the ward to dodge the Pulverize. That was kind of cute.
Smart, man. So this Alistar will struggle a little bit in the early game. As you can see, Flakked trading with that Gatling gun. Flashy trying to do the same, but he's ignited down to 300 HP. Has to wander his way away. And now is... obviously, you do have the Triumphant Roar, so you can gain a little bit of health back. I think it's every 7 minions that die in your vicinity. You get that little heal, but not going to be the easiest for him to have anything die nearby for the time being. Sheo not skipping the camp. Going to go Seer. And then Pillar of Flame, and then another Seer. You have to delay the second Seer here a little bit to get your passive proc.
Very clever.
Yep.
Clever man.
I learned from Broxer, man. He taught me how to brand jungle. For the 2 weeks I decided I want to be a jungle main, and then realized what junglers have to go through.
Yeah.
And it's even worse than support.
Hey man, I'm sorry you went through that.
Yeah.
Like that's just awful.
Top laners never have to suffer that same ignominy.
No, top laners, they have the best life, man. For sure.
I'm at a painful time. This is just what you're singing the whole time, right? Yeah. It's chilling in the top lane.
It's usually more agitating, so, but yeah.
Oh, you're more like a heavy metal, death metal sort of. It's just screamo for you in the top lane.
Blocks out the game sound.
You know you can mute it, right?
Yeah. Maybe I'm addicted to the pain.
Possibly. That's a lyric from something, I'm pretty sure. I'm addicted to pain. Anyway, someone knows. I do not know. Let's go back to League of Legends, shall we?
Yeah, both junglers have full cleared. Brand got the bot side crab this game.
Nice.
Good dodge by Fleshy.
Yeah, it was a nice dodge from Fleshy, but good stun with the Shadowing Strike initially onto Carzzy, taking him down to half HP. And this bot lane battle is one that we will have our eyes on throughout the course of the series, and one that really defined game one. Flakked on that Aphelios had an absolute whale of a time. 12-2-2. 1,600 damage a minute, 1,629. That's pretty devastating. As you can, I like the fact we've got one penta at the end there as well. As Sheo looks for the gank down towards the bottom lane, just trying to force Fleshy and Carzzy away. Shadowing Strike, there's the heal coming out. Carzzy able to survive with the barrier, and Stend's going to tank up a couple of tower shots. Fleshy keeping the rest of Heretics at bay. Flakked took another shot, and that's first blood to Vitality.
I have questions.
Yep.
And
ask him, man. Here, I can help you.
What are we doing here? I mean, Carzzy is clearly hovering bot side. I don't think Brand can land his spells because there's so many minions in the way that's gonna come here. Like, you gotta go now, but now minions are in the way, so suddenly Brand can't connect his combo on there. Tries to get the seer, but Alistar blocks it, and they just don't have the damage through the barrier spell. I don't know what we're looking for here. They really want to find some... What the hell is going on?
So, my assumption, they pushed out the wave, realized they hadn't pushed out enough, and so he tried to drag the minions back through the tower, which he managed for two of the minions, and in the end this will bounce back out towards Vitality, so good death.
Yeah, it's a very good play, something that a lot of supporters have started doing lately. I think Hylissang kind of started doing this, and people call him crazy, but now people realize, wait, he was actually cooking. Will still end up being a really big slow push here for Flakked. Don't think the cannon will survive this, we will have to see. But in general, I mean, game is slow. They tried to go for a dive, didn't work out. Doesn't end up losing much because of it. Sure, there's one kill onto Kai'Sa, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter in the end. It's going to be about this first dragon. Sheo gets another full clear down, and that's where we're going to see a lot of action.
Yeah, it's always about the first dragon for these two teams, especially for Heretics. But they will be disappointed that the dive didn't really materialize into what they wanted, because getting Flakked ahead in game one was one of the reasons they were able to win game one.
And also, Carlsen didn't use flash. Yeah. Like, he didn't really have to do anything. He just gave it to him.
Not the easiest, not the best, as Stend and Flakked will continue to get the push down here. You can see Lyncas hovering around mid lane right now, pathing down towards this bottom side. Drake has been begun by Sheo. And once again, we see Heretics a priority.
Yeah, Lyncas is one camp away from level 6. I think it's going to be tough to contest this, because I think without 6, Brand is just way stronger in these fights, but you're looping around.
I mean, you could wait for him to cycle on the dragon. He's not using any spells right now. You can see he's holding them deliberately to make sure that he has them for a possible fight. Hex flash away from Stend, and Lyncas dives in. Immediately regrets his decision and has to flash out. Fleshy looking for the engage here, lands the headbutt pulverize onto Stend. The Drake at 1.4k.
Smite fight.
It is a smite fight between the junglers, and it's Lyncas who wins it. Now he's in the back of the pit. It's going to have to Vault Breaker out. Fleshy doesn't have the flash. Carzzy and Czajek trying to shepherd their cow to safety. The Rune Prison's going to land on Kamiloo, though, as Czajek guides deftly alongside Carzzy. Fleshy and Lyncas out to security. Czajek, though, does still have the Realm Warp here. Recall happening. Kamiloo spotted him.
It's very tense. Vitality really wants this fight, and Heretics aren't against it either. I feel like they're staying around.
There's the stun. Fleshy goes in with a headbutt pulverize, immediately dies to the Valkyrie, but Carzzy now begins to open up. You can see the flashes raining out from Heretics as they try and escape. Czajek will tank a tower shot. Flakked dodges the overload. In the end, a 1-for-1 exchange.
Yeah, but look at mid wave. It was actually quite good for Heretics. I feel like the longer that Czajek had to stay around there, the more he would lose mid. Mid was going to bounce now. Already dropped one wave, and it's going to be a nice wave to catch for Kamiloo. Sure, he goes down, but I think in the end, he's kind of winning out on this play.
Have another look at it, because it was so close from all of Heretics dying here. Fleshy just waiting for the headbutt pulverize.
Flakked playing at the edge here. Look at him. He takes so much damage. Flash has 1 health almost, and Kamiloo does end up dying to the flash, or by the Carzzy auto attack. Dodges the overload. Very slick, but I mean, I think in the end, Vitality is happy they did get the dragon. That was the goal of the play. Then, whatever happened after that, this is the bonus, you know?
Yeah. Carzzy also got his second kill, so he's now 500, 450 ahead in that bot lane matchup. He is slightly behind in terms of cull stacks, and as we know, those are the most important stacks to track.
Yeah, it's very true.
9 CS down right now as he's catching this mid wave. Nako trading with Carlsen. You said it's the Eclipse that really makes this difficult for the K'Sante. He's struggling a little bit right now. He's about 5 CS down, but he does have a wave here to collect.
Yeah, I mean, he's fine. He's chilling right now. Probably will end up losing some of the grubs here because of the push that Ambessa has. He's going to have to catch wave and then walk around, but Sheo with the ult is very strong in this fight. All those pyroclasts and bounces together with the grubs that they broke off. Very dangerous.
Yeah, they just don't have the move from Carlsen right now. Let's see Heretics thinking about it, but beginning to back away. Carzzy coming in from the side as well. There's the first grub.
Look at that
Season assist, Lyncas. Doesn't elect to use it. Heal was used from Fleshy just for the extra movement speed to try and get him in range for that ultimate.
Look at that Nako. Maybe he's in a tough position here.
He's got public execution. He's going to use it and dodges past Carlsen with it. Vitality now without that ultimate though might just have to back away. You can see Lyncas and Fleshy were trying to sneak another grub while that was happening, but they do have to give up the ghost on it. Now Nako going back in onto Carlsen, just trading his health bar to see if they could find anything more. In the end though, Heretics will get the 2 grubs. And, Vitality will have to settle with 1.
Yeah, it's a lot of looking at each other. Yeah. A lot of fighting there. I mean, Nako, I think Fleshy really wanted to go on the brand with the Nako on the flank, so he healed early to get Lyncas in range, but I think Lyncas kind of hesitated, didn't really want to commit deep. Maybe he wasn't just in range with the ult, kind of the QR, which is not optimal for Vi, because then you're so deep, you have no flash, you're just stuck in the deep end of that fight.
Yeah, had to use the flash earlier around that dragon fight. We'll be back off cooldown relatively soon. Nako should get this plate. There we go. 1 grub enough to tick down.
The 1 grub. No ult on him though, so maybe Carzzy can look for a fight here. He's running so usually what you're going to do in Xante when you're is you just want to ult, take a trade with your ult, and then push out the wave, because your mana just like doesn't matter when you're ulting, because that's the bar ticking down. But right now he's just kind of holding on for dear life against his Ambessa. Nako playing the matchup very, very well, I would say. Spacing around those Qs. Never getting hindered by the Xante W.
It does feel like Vitality are the ones kind of dictating the pace of the game right now. They're the ones stepping in, looking for these invades. They have top lane prio consistently. Carlsen is going to stay around here. I was wondering if he'd just TP back, but knows that the enemy jungler was on the bottom side of the map anyway, so the threat of a dive isn't as strong as it could have been. Carlsen could look for something here if Nako goes a bit greedy. Does have that all out. We'll clear the wave. There we are. Pathmaker, flash away from Nako. The Q3 was coming out, and Carlsen knew if Nako had been caught by that, you can then all out him back underneath the tower. Nako doesn't really have an escape tool.
Flash perma Nako, Carzzy's gonna TP back. He's gonna be in a pretty good spot now. I wanna see if he can use this flash to get some lane leads, or even instead of a gank for Sheo. Gets the Iceborne Gauntlet, it's a very big spike for him. Looking like Nako is trying to get his Eclipse base. Not sure how far away he is from it. Should be coming up relatively soon.
I think it's really about Sheo looking for this gank now, right? Nako does have a ward. Sheo's going to oracles, clear out this ward. Then doesn't have to stay around. Nako is just going to base, except that the wave isn't in the best position for him, but he does have a TP, so can get back here pretty quickly. As Czajek just clears out the vision around
Sheo
that
did show
mid lane.
topside though, yeah. So now the dragon is spawning in 5 seconds. Probably going to be a little bit late to it. Could be an easy starter from Vitality, trying to get that second Drake.
The problem for Vitality is if it takes them too long, though, you're looking at Liandry's brand running you down, right? That's such a risky situation to be in, so they have to do it immediately, which is exactly what they're doing. Credit to them, knowing that Sheo was on the top side. They call for it, and they will take that dragon. Second of the game for them. Heretics struggling to get those early Drakes, at least. They did manage to pick up a couple of the grubs. But across the board, things looking okay for Vitality through this early game. Small leads for Kamiloo and Sheo, though. Very small for Sheo. I don't think 26 gold really counts as too much of an advantage.
The big lead he has is the Leandro spike. He has actually spent his gold now. Meanwhile, Lyncas just trying to get his base, trying to get his Thunder Sky on his first base here, trying to slow the game down a little bit. I mean, there's a dragon in 4 minutes. I think he doesn't need to do much. As long as his laners are fine, he can probably afford to go for another full clear. Slow the game down.
It does feel like both teams have settled into that. Oh, we can slow the game down a little bit if we want. Do you think there's a team that really is advantageous for us? Nako trades with Carlsen. He's going to keep going here. Nope, decides against it. You can see Lyncas actually coming up, Czajek looking for the Realm Warp, and just as we say, they want to slow the game down. We see plays happening on opposite sides of the ring.
I mean, right now Vitality is a great spot. You have 2 dragons. Third dragon coming in 4 minutes. You're going to get Ryze and spikes. You're going to have your Robo on Ryze, Eclipse on Ambessa, and Kraken on Kai'Sa. I think you're really fine right now, just playing whichever game you want. Nako keeps taking these really good trades. Carlsen is constantly low and constantly under pressure from Nako. Now with this Eclipse, it becomes so hard without those shields. Don't think you can dive the Xante though.
That would be risky. We'll see if Carlsen steps out alongside this wave. Sheo is almost in the area, currently on his red buff. Carlsen respects it though, backs away, and Lyncas goes back and gets that Sundered Sky. Rift held up in 1:50, Drake in 3.5. So neither team really needs to force. You say Vitality are pretty happy with the state of the game. Would you say similarly Heretics are okay with how this game's been played out so far, even if they're a bit on the back foot?
I think they're happy they lost both dragons. Sad. I mean, I think they're sad they lost both.
I hate those dragons, man.
Okay.
Why do we keep going for dragons?
No, I think the first dragon they feel like should have been theirs. I think the second dragon couldn't do much about, and Sheo shows topside like that. That's just highlights the importance of vision. You know, like if you show the other side of the map, suddenly in competitive play, people will punish that. They will go and take the entire other side of the map because you're not there. And that's what happened with the first dragon. Leshy, Portal Combat here, not much happening.
As soon as you hear Kai'Sa say Portal Combat, unless it's like the last two players standing in the middle of a fight, you know nothing's really going on in the game. It's like, oh guys, the supports are hitting each other. Either of them have any damage? No. It's fun to watch them use their skills. Flakked here, a little bit low on mana. He's going to step back forward towards Fleshy. There's the Shattering Strike coming out as well as Stend is forced to go in with the Magnet Storm. I assume to be on the retreat. Cease and Desist coming out as well as they dive onto Sheo. Vitality have found everything they wanted out of this. A double for Lyncas and greed from Heretics, really.
I mean, I think when you use everything on your Alistar with ult, suddenly the fight becomes very easy for the enemy team. You have Kai'Sa, who has ult, you have Vi, that ulted in, and you also had the Ambessa move. I think there was just so many like factors going in Vitality's favor to just be so confident in that sequence. And I feel like Heretics was constantly thinking, we gotta get out, we gotta get out, we gotta get out. Ambessa is coming. We used everything on Alistar, and that's kind of the problem here. You don't have that much burst. Like, your Corki has a Phage and a Heartbound Axe and a Tabai. He doesn't have that much damage. Here, he wants to get out. I think he's overbaiting a little bit right now. Trying to get something out, but yeah, Stend is just too far deep here.
Yeah, and it's like Stend going back in with the Magnet Storm and Cease and Desist follow. You don't really have, as you say, firstly the damage, but secondly, even when you realize you're on the wrong side of the fight, it's like, do we need to re-engage at this point, or can we try to be retreating as Nako finds Stend and Kamiloo and takes Kamiloo down to half HP pretty much immediately.
A lot more discipline from Vitality in this game. They slowed down a little bit, they took a deep breath, and now they're just playing on their turns. Oh, this is the full Ryze.
Heals afterwards as well, just to try and chase for the trample stun, but didn't quite find it, as Kamiloo is still half HP here. Carzzy, there's the redemption. Just try and stop the ports. Flakked coming in from the side. Now Nako has not got the public execution. Fleshy, Unbreakable will up in 2 seconds. He can tank this one for days. Kamiloo will fall to Carzzy. Meanwhile, Lyncas keeping Stend and Flakked at bay. The Rift Herald comes down. We'll get the charge off here as Vitality claim their first tower of the game. Fleshy, straight on to Sheo. Rift Herald going forward, but not ridden by anyone, so won't be able to get the charge down. Fleshy trying to dodge away with that Unbreakable will, but his will has been broken. As Flakked will secure the kill, the Rift Herald does get another charge. Vitality come out of it. 1 kill apiece, but with a 2k gold lead.
This Kai'Sa is becoming a big problem. She got those 2 early kills as we highlighted. Now Kraken and going for her second item, gonna be the Rage Blade most likely. And Carzzy is just so strong. Any fight that Vitality takes, he can just join so fast. And he had the first push here from the mid, so now she's standing here poking him under tower while Naak is pushing in the wave, and Kamiloo's nowhere to run. He can try to run away, but Carzzy's there holding him. With Alistar combo, it's just an easy play for Vitality. And sure, if that Q connects by Lyncas, I think there's something more happening there, but have the Herald ready. Oh, don't get to see how Fleshy died as the Dragon is up.
Lyncas might just look for the steal here, goes in, immediately CC'd, flashes out, and the Drake goes over to Heretics. Talk about taking turns in League, that was one of those moments Vitality just going for the double tower play on the top side, kind of lost them a little bit of time.
Yeah, and especially because Fleshy died at the back end of that fight. I feel like he wasn't really there to set up wards, so it made the retake really difficult because you got to walk as 5 kind of where this is 4. When you're going into an area where enemy has control, you can't really split up because sure, if you're facing a brand with a Rell on the side, that's probably going to be at least 50% of your health bar, maybe even a kill. So
yeah, it's
so fun to contest, but
I mean, for Vitality, they'll be okay with it. Like, it sucks. It's not really what you want to be happening, but you're still far enough ahead and you scale well as a competition as well. It's not like you're on a quadrant. Room Prison, Cease and Desist, Redemption alongside it just to make sure that Kamiloo dies. Fleshy will get an assist from healing up Czajek and Lyncas, and Kamiloo will go down for the 3rd time this game. Stend flashes over Lyncas, jumps away with the Shattering Strike onto Czajek, but is going to be caught up with the Room Prison. Fleshy here, looking for the headbutt pulverize, finds it as well. The Blast Cone popped. Sheo can't defend his support. Stend on the floor, 7-2 now for Vitality.
And Vitality just playing so fast on the sidelines. This is what you have to do with the Ryze. We highlighted when they first pick the Ryze, you want a jungler that plays with him in tandem and makes things happen. Flakked goes for fight here. I don't think you can translate this into anything more. Carzzy will be quite fine, just be able to walk out, has all those summer splits up and available. And probably looks to be a tier 1 tower for Vitality at the back end of those 2 kills. And they are really eating good tonight.
Yeah, they're really happy with how things are looking. Fleshy actually TPing into the mid lane there as well. I think Flakked thought, well, perhaps if we chunk out Carzzy, I've got Sheo just around the corner, we can look for the possibility of a dive, or at least making sure that he loses some of the XP and gold those minions that would die to the tower provide. But he was able to stay around, pick up the CS, and now go back and grab himself a Ginsu's. 2 items complete on the Kai'Sa, the same on Czajek on this Ryze. Had a really good game 1 and is having a great game 2 alongside it. Vitality in prime position to even out this series, but we did also say that in game 1. You never know. Maybe Flakked on this Corki will somehow find 200 years in his back pocket and pop off.
Yes, we've seen this before, gentlemen. We've been here before, and I'm not gonna get too excited yet for Vitality, because, as you say, I need to see them be able to cleanly close this out in a convincing manner. I do feel like
Vitality the KT of LEC.
Hey man, KT was good once.
Wow.
No, I mean...
No, you said it, man, you said it.
I mean,
I think Vitality fans are going to be really angry at you.
I think Vitality as an organization in the LEC has had a lot of struggles to kind of reach where they want to go. We've had a lot of exciting fans, woo! They have had a lot of super teams that have looked good on paper that haven't really found the results that they wanted. And ooh, let's go wide on the Alistar, but
yeah, I think the thing with Vitality is it's always promise.
Yeah,
right. You look at the players, you look at the teams over the years. There's been a lot of promise from this organization. They've just never really been able to find that final hurdle. Never been able to get across the finish line. I think that's what we continue to see from Vitality now. Ending 4th in their group, winning 2 series. They did take down KC and Na'Vi, but the top dogs, when it matters in playoffs, tend to elude Vitality a little bit.
And it doesn't really give confidence to see them struggling like this in game 1 against the Heretics. I feel like this is a team where if your expectation is to beat the top dogs, or at least contest them, a team like Heretics you should be able to convincingly beat. And sure, this game looks a lot better, but game 1 was a little bit sketchy, and I want to see how they can do. Like, Nako is slowly chipping down his top lane tier 2. He's at around 40% right now, but Carlsen is here to defend it. Have the Sheo, has the Iceborne Gauntlet, and this is where he's gonna be tanky, but still Ambessa has so much built-in armor pen in her kit and so much percentage damage together with a Q and with Eclipse that tank stats are kind of fake in the face of Ambessa. She uses so much raw damage no matter what they buy, so probably going to be hard for K'Sante to actually contain her on the sideline. You're probably just going to catch waves and try to join the team together later, but when your K'Sante is not there to phase check with you, suddenly the brand loses a lot of his threat, because I don't think the Rell is going to be enough to retake areas.
Yeah. Similar to the problem Heretics had in game 1, where it had to be Carlsen on the side face checking, otherwise you could quite easily just be 100 to 0'd. You see both the top laners wandering their way down to the mid lane, with Drake up in 14 seconds and Artakan alongside it. Fleshy looking for the flank, but can't quite find it. Heretics trying to regain a bit of control here, but you can see Vitality have played all around this bot side. Getting the wave pushed in there. Nako's going to try and answer Flakked. It will be a little bit slower on the wave clear. Stend putting some vision in. Carzzy still going for a massive flank on the Kai'Sa.
Going for here. They have this angle from this side, this angle from this side, and also this angle. They have so many different threats that Heretics has to balance out.
It's crazy to see Carzzy being one of the people that's just like full-on flanking. Obviously he does have that killer instinct. Void Seekers are connecting as well as Vitality start up the Drake. Nako's still looking for that flank, a control ward where Flakked is now standing.
Look at this dance. They're just going to decide to go and push bot side. Czajek is going to say, I don't want to dance here anymore. I'm going to go push bot. And actually changes his mind. Comes back down. Redemption comes out. Heat Slasher back up to full health. And Look at Nako, he needs to find something with his flank.
Carlsen going in, Lyncas flashes away, Flashy goes in as well, Carlsen has to flash himself, Czajek still looking at that flank position, Nako coming in as well, there's the Realm Warp onto Kamiloo, Czajek's going in for his enemy man, public execution, killer instinct, and immediately Vitality dive in to the midst of a pyroclasm. Carzzy stepping back forward though, will take out Stend, Sheo falls as well, Lyncas and Carlsen trading down towards the bottom side, and it's Carlsen who comes up, trumps, kills the enemy jungler, but it doesn't matter because the rest of his team is done for.
And I love when teams play like this, when they have so many different angles that despite the enemy team playing as a 5-man, playing so sternly, like just together, they don't have enough threats to deal with because there's just so much to pay attention to. Czajek baits out the ult here, as you're gonna see in a bit, and everyone retreats back into it. And that just gives Nako and Carzzy and Lyncas so much space. You see everyone trying to defend his ult, but as you see, Kamiloo just left alone on the side, gets comboed by the Ryze, and when Ambessa dives in like that, there's just nothing you can do. Carlsen ends up getting a kill onto the divide there at the back end of that fight, but in the end, really nicely played by Vitality, and they're gonna get the dragon as a prize.
Yeah, and you can see Sheo thinking, oh, if I just get my Pyroclasm off into my Seeker's Arm Guard, maybe it's enough damage, but Vitality did a really good job of splitting. As soon as they jump in, they kill the one person, they split up so that Pyroclasm is not bouncing around the way that Sheo would have wanted it to. Artican up, the Drake secured for Vitality, one away from that Infernal Soul. Czajek and Carzzy still unkilled in this game. 204 and 404 for Carzzy. Enemies really not found throughout this game. He's having an absolute stormer of a matchup.
Sheo is topside. This is just their outcome.
Yeah,
they can't do anything about this without their jungler. They're just gonna push out, and Vitality just has a stern grip on Heretics right now. They're not giving them any space back into the game. Pushes out, gets all the objectives. Probably gonna slow the game down now, get that 4th dragon in a bit. That's probably where we're gonna see the next altercation happen.
That makes a lot of sense. There is a Baron up in 15 seconds, and Vitality have been known to sometimes make a couple of mistakes around the mid-game, make plays that perhaps they shouldn't be making, but this game has been a lot more slow and steady. They are winning the race towards victory in the second game of this best of 5. Heretics claiming game 1 earlier on though, and I think what most people would call a bit of an upset, having watched most of the game. -1, as you say. Does miss that cannon minion. I'm sure Czajek is very happy that we pointed that out for him.
Don't worry, if you ever need more highlighting, if you lose minions, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah? I'm a support, so I'm allowed to. I was leaving it for tempo. See?
It's very clever.
Ooh,
Flashy finding a flanking cow.
He's grass-fed.
Tell me now. Tell me how.
Sheo, the Seer, doesn't hit. There were a couple of pings out towards this. Fleshy now spotted on that control ward.
He's gonna get this top tier too, I think. A lot of money going into his pocket.
Yeah, 700 gold. More there, you can see jumps from 39 gold lead to a 739. Fleshy here, maybe could have taken the blast cone. Lyncas here to shadow him. Czajek looks for the damage onto Sheo. Redemption coming out as well. Ooh, with an overload after overload. Sheo down to 300 HP. Czajek quietly, level 16, highest level in the game, 2 levels ahead of Kamiloo on this Jayce. He's rattling out the damage on the Ryze. Flakked going to try and trade back into him, but has to avoid the Void Seeker as well.
Yeah, behind Kai'Sa, she's a menace now to deal with all those Void Seekers. The vision they give, the damage just keeps adding up. I mean, it's just so much control, and I feel like Team Heretics, they're just scrambling for any semblance of control in the river. They just don't want to give this Baron up for free, but Vitality's just choking them out slowly, trying to get their vision lines a little bit deeper every single time, and eventually they're out of blue trinkets. Because when those blue trinkets are gone, you can't really face check it, you can't really check it for any information anymore. And that's when the real dance begins.
And one of the parts of the game that is often overlooked in, solo queue generally is this starvation of vision. Right? You know, if they haven't crossed a certain line, they can't have put wards down there in the last 3 minutes because we know they've been in their jungle the whole time. So trying to make sure that Heretics don't get access towards the river like they're doing, and if they do, even if they get vision down, it's not too good. Kamiloo forced away, Flashy going in as well onto Carlsen, who's stunned up, locked up, tries to dash across the wall, will get to Stend. Lyncas looking for a bit more, but Jayce has the cease and desist with the redemption coming out from Stend. Vitality call off the play. They know Nako's winning in the side lane.
Oh, it's just
another
suffering
tier 2
across the map. Yeah. Tier 2 bot side, probably gonna be a tier 1 mid here. Maybe now they're gonna take the recall, but Like Nako's side lane pressures is adding up so long. Sure, Heretics tries to do everything to get some sort of vision, as we said, but every single time like Nako's just pushing that side lane, keeps getting this tier 2 now. Probably gonna get the death stance on this recall, and that's when this Ambessa just becomes immortal in these fights.
Like 3 minutes ago, we said he's 39 gold ahead of Carlsen. He's now 2,000 gold ahead of Carlsen, picking up 2 tier 2s, and the death dance now complete. It is a tricky road to walk for whoever from Heretics is assigned the duty of dealing with Nako. You can see him and Carzzy top in the gold charts, Flakked there as well, but there's a 2k drop-off from Czajek to the next highest. Carlsen, Kamiloo, and Sheo all yet to crest over that 10,000 gold mark.
Look at Lyncas once again. Look at the angles here. With 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a 5th down here. They're just not playing as a 5-man. I mean, they are playing as a 5-man, but they're just splitting up the fight so well. Czajek now looking from the right side. Nako from the left side. Carzzy here.
Flashy goes in, headbutt pulverized into the trample. There's a Magna Storm coming out, but the redemption's already down. Sheo pops a stopwatch, but his team is deleted around him. Vitality clean house.
It's cinema. I love how Vitality are playing these fights, how they're just herding them into this position for the Dragon. Soul goes to the side of Vitality.
Might just be base.
Might just be base.
Flashy's chasing Carlsen down here. They've got a wave. They bring it in with the Realm Warp as well. Vitality,
I don't think he can hold it.
They don't want it to take 40 minutes. TP comes out from Carlsen. He's going to go back to base and try and heal up. But Vitality, with 4 of their players, are pushing for the win sub 30. Carlsen steps back in. Nako pushes him away. The second Nexus Tower, Vitality's target, as Carzzy rains down upon it, it will fall. The flash is forward as they know the game is done. They want to clean it up on the Nexus. Force Carlsen back, take the Nexus, sub 30 here in game 2 for Vitality.
Oh, Carlsen, you are beefy, but you can't hold the onslaught. That is the 4-man of Vitality. Beautiful game of Vitality, really convincing, and this is what we expected from them coming into the series. We expected a Vitality that went toe-to-toe with MKOI, a Vitality that beat KC, and a Vitality that should convincingly beat Heretics. And this game 2, they've shown us exactly that. Game 1 was a mishap. Maybe it was nerfs, maybe it was someone just warming up, but now they are up and available and fully running.